Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm reading for Scorpio energy for Tuesday. It doesn't have to be Tuesday for this reading to resonate, and you don't have to be Scorpio. I'm just channeling Scorpio energy. So you may have Scorpio placements in your chart. You may be interacting with the Scorpio. You may just find that Scorpio readings resonate with you. So I'm going to get some clarifiers to kind of figure out, is this reading for you? Is this reading not for you? I've got a little bit of intuitive stuff to go through before I start to pull cards on camera. So if it sounds like it's your reading, yeah, great. Woo! Leave me a comment below if anything particularly resonated. You can also drop me a like and hit that notification bell and subscribe. It's free to do all these things, so it really helps out the channel, and I'm thankful to those of you that already interact with me in this way. Thank you very much. You can also share as well if you've got Virgo friends and you think they need to hear it. Not Virgo. Did I say Virgo then? That's interesting. I wonder if somebody's dealing with a Virgo. Maybe go and check out Virgo's reading as well. I am actually picking up a continuation. I've had this common thread throughout the readings this week, which kind of started with Leo, and I'll go into it kind of when I get to that point in your intuitive messages. But there's definitely something that I'm kind of pulling out that seems to be a collective message here that people are experiencing. What else do I need to say? If it doesn't resonate, maybe go and check out your other placements. If you'd like to know your other placements, there is a link in the description box down below that will take you to Astrology Cafe and their birth chart service. I'm not affiliated. It's just a service that I find really, really helpful. And if you want to check it out, it's there. So Scorpios, I feel like somebody's getting frustrated with somebody because they're not speaking, and somebody might be about to say their piece. That's kind of what's coming through. When I was trying to tune into your energy, I just wasn't really getting anything. It was like secretive radio silence, which I'm not surprised. You are Scorpio, right? You're the high priestess. This is normal for your energy to be a little bit secretive. You're the most secretive sign in the whole of the tarot, the astrology. So there's this dig a little deeper energy. So again, I don't know if this is you dealing with somebody who's kind of clammed up, or this is you clamming up and somebody reacting to you this way and speaking to you this way. I don't know if there's like a third person. So take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't, and just know that you can flip and reverse it. So with the Oyster card, it could be you, but I'm getting more that you're the person. Again, it could be different for different Scorpios, right? So I'm just going to tell you what I'm getting. So I pulled a card. I was like, help me get into Scorpio's reading, and I got the oyster. So really interesting, the symbolism of kind of like, it always says to me there's like a secret inside, right? There's something trapped inside wanting to come out, and the darkness is also talking to me about like secrecy, things that are hidden, and this idea of as well of like prize. Sometimes it's a clam for me, sometimes it's an oyster. I use it interchangeably, so just in case you're picking up on that, just it's a thing. But yeah, sometimes it's like you have to get the knife in there, right? You have to wedge it open. So it's like, again, I don't know if it's you, I don't know who's who. So I'm getting the energy of somebody who has something to say. It's like somebody is feeling something, they have something to say, they're holding back or they're keeping it to themselves for some reason, but it's like it wants to come out, like they want to say it. I'm getting like not happy with something, not happy with some kind of circumstances, like somebody wants to kind of say what's on their mind, they want to say their piece. So if the second person who is aware of it could be a Libra. You get a lot of Libra, Scorpio cusp or crossover energy quite often. Libra's been in this kind of high priestess mode recently. And in their reading, they were noticing the silence. They were noticing what wasn't being said. They were noticing the black spot. And I feel like it's like your energy or Scorpio energy is this silence. It is this trying to stay hidden energy, but Libra's noticing it. I'm getting like scanning. I sometimes get this like a almost like a radar, right? A radar, and it's like as the radar goes along, it's, you know, you can see what's there in the landscape, but then there's like a dark spot where it's like, well, what's there? Why can't I see that spot? And it's like, that's your spot. So somebody, I don't know who, is like scanning their surroundings, right? Like kind of hyper vigilant. I was kind of seeing the rabbit for a few readings as well in the underlying, kind of like hyper vigilant, or like a bat. They're showing me from this deck, they're showing me the back card, which is interesting because I've been talking about Batman a lot, which makes sense because a lot of people are watching Batman, they're talking about Batman, and if it's in the collective energy, it's going to come through in the readings. So, but this kind of like, you know, like almost like, you know what the army use when they're kind of scanning an environment. It's interesting. I've just got like VR, and it kind of like scans your environment, you know, to make sure that you're not like going to bump into anything and things like this. Or like a car, they're showing me now, like, you know, when your car's reversing, some of them have that detector on the back to see how close you are to something. So it's like that. It's like scanning the environment, but there's like a bit that you can't read, there's a bit that you can't see. So on a practical level, it would be like being in a work environment, say like sat in the office, you know, kind of that natural, almost like subconscious awareness that you have of your own environment that you're in. And it's like, oh, there's Glenda, you know, having a morning cup of tea. There's I don't know, Nigel and Boris having a gossip by the water cooler. It's like everything's kind of normal, everything's as it should be. But it's like, I don't know if there's somebody missing, or, you know, somebody's just a lot quieter than usual, and they're kind of trying to, it's like they're there, but they're trying to like blend into the background. They're trying not to be noticed. But you're noticing them because their behavior is different, or they're noticing you because your behavior is different. Because again, I've got this crossover with Libra's reading. It was coming through as well, like after I finished the reading. It hasn't gone up yet. I'm recording this the week before, but it's coming through like the predator. You know, the predator, how it like blends into its environment. So like, not to kind of scare anyone. I think it's like a joke. My guides joke a lot, but like that kind of energy of like somebody who's trying not to be seen. So trying not to be seen, trying to go unnoticed, trying to blend in, trying to camouflage. Don't ask me any questions. Don't open up this kind of worms kind of energy. But then I want to say it's you being Scorpio, and I have a Scorpio placement, and it's like the detective of the zodiac. It's like the great investigator. It could just be reading for fucking Batman again, but it's like you like puzzles, like maybe Virgo as well. Maybe this is why I mentioned Virgo. It's like that analytical nature of like, I like a mystery. I like having a puzzle to solve. You know, there's something off here. So I'm going to poke a little more. I'm going to investigate a little further here. There's more to find out in this situation. I'm going to get this person to open up. It's like you're the one prying open the oyster. So, and I actually heard, it's or like trying to get a read on somebody, right? You're trying to get a read on someone, but they're like the grey man, they're not giving you anything back. So I heard, give me something to work with. Give me something to work with here. You know, it's like, you know, maybe like you're trying to have a conversation with somebody, but they're not, there's no to and fro, there's no back and forth. And you're like, you need to give me something here, so because I can't, like it's with this Six of Pentacles coming out, it was on the underline when I got the deck out, and then it felt like I shuffled and it came back out, so it definitely wanted to be seen. And this is a card about sharing the workload, equal give and take. I'm going to do this, you do that, it works out, it balances. So it can also talk about money, right? Somebody who's in a position to give and somebody who's in a position to receive. It doesn't have to be money as well. It can be time, like skill, you know, a service. Like somebody can give and somebody needs to receive, but it's equal. It's like in a different situation, this person would be giving, you'd be receiving. You see what I mean? But it's like it's coming through for you like back and forth. Like I keep giving to this situation, and you're not giving me anything back to work with here. It's like I don't know where I stand. It's uncomfortable because you don't know where you stand with somebody if they're not giving you anything back. Again, like Batman, so just kind of keep talking about Batman. Everybody's going to get sick of hearing about it. But he's very stoic. You know, people can ask Batman a question and he just won't reply. It's like that. It's like talking to a brick wall. It's give me something back. And I know people like this. I know people where it's hard to have a conversation with them because there's no, like, now they're showing me like ping pong or tennis. There's no back and forth. It's like, I don't know what to say because you're not engaging in this conversation. So, and that can also sometimes be because someone's shy or they don't know what to say and things like this. So, I got clammed up, and then I heard, I know you have something to say, so say it. So it's like somebody does have something to say. They do have something they want to get off the chest, perhaps. And the other energy is being quite confrontational, quite demanding. The second energy is coming through is like a bit fed up with this, a bit frustrated, a bit, yeah, just like fed up of it. So give me something to work with. I know you've got something to say, so just say it. Feels like it could be like an argument as well between like a couple, maybe. Yeah, Scorpio's good at a mystery. What's not being said, Libra? Drawing attention because you're being quiet, exactly. Then they were showing me the Emperor card. Now, the Emperor card for me off camera has come through upright and reversed. So it's like, in the upright, it's like the Emperor who, you know, that should be the Emperor, the boss who's a good boss. You know, they've, again, with this like scanning the environment, that kind of show me that again. It's like, you know, aware of what's going on, kind of in the know, you know, delegating, you know, all this kind of stuff, like a good boss. In the reverse, it's like a bad boss. So someone who's childish, you know, temper tantrum, that kind of energy. So it's like somebody, I don't know if you're dealing with that, or it's coming through as Scorpio, so like the Scorpion Emperor or the Scorpion King, you know, in the upright, brilliant, you know, brilliant, controls the situation really, really well. In the reverse, it's like, ooh, who pissed off the boss kind of energy. Who pissed off the boss? Let's, you know, let's make ourselves scarce. I've worked for Scorpio bosses. Some of them are great, and sometimes not so much. It's like you don't want to be around them when they're in a bad mood. So maybe it's that, maybe you're in a bad mood and you know, everybody's, you know, trying to look busy, trying to make excuses to get out of the room, that kind of energy. It's like they don't want to be around you when you lose your temper. And everybody has high and low vibrational energy, right? We all have good days and bad days. So I'm not calling you out. I'm just saying that that's what I'm picking up on. And it could be your situation. You could be dealing with somebody like this. It could be somebody else's situation. Don't take it personally, please. So then I randomized a song for you, and I got I Promise by Radiohead. I won't run away no more, I promise. All this kind of stuff, all these promises he's making. But I was listening to it and I was getting annoyed. And again, I don't know if this is like, I don't know who this is in the situation. It kind of was giving me the scenario of like a relationship. So a relationship where one person keeps doing something that they feel like they have to apologize for. I'm sorry I stayed out too late. I'm sorry I cheated. I'm sorry this, I'm sorry I'm that, I'm sorry this, I'm sorry that. I'll change. I promise I won't do that anymore. I'll change. I promise I won't do that anymore. We all know that a lot of the time inherent behavior or natural behavior, especially if you want to talk about star charts, and I'm not using that as an excuse, there are certain behaviors that people are prone to, and the message that's coming through, it depends on the situation. There's healthy versions of this and not so healthy versions of this. So again, it's not going to be everybody's reading and advice. So use your own intuition. But I had this energy of somebody saying, don't make promises you can't keep. Again, it's like fed up of it. Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't tell me you're not going to stay out all night if you're just going to do it again. You know, don't make that promise to me, because it's like when somebody promises something like this and they keep doing it, it's like, well, what are your promises worth anymore? You know, what are your sorries worth anymore if you're just going to keep doing it? Like it's disappointing on both sides of the relationship, because on the one hand, the person who's making the promises, you know, they're going to have a lot of guilt over that. They're going to feel like they're a terrible person. They're letting the other person down. And they're also trying to, it's like wearing a mask in a relationship. It's like being asked to be somebody that they're not, right? Which was coming through in the readings from like Leo, Virgo. Leo and Virgo, they had this thing about the hero that they need, or the person that they deserve, right? So this thing about trying to be perfect, trying to be, you know, having that public persona, or you know, the persona in the workplace, the persona in a relationship, where you're trying to be the person that you think the other person needs you to be, and nobody's perfect. So it's this energy of like keeping it on failing, because you're trying to live up to an ideal that's you or a person around you, right? You're trying to live up to the ideal of this hero when nobody's the hero really all the time. So then in Virgo's reading, it was like being the person that they deserve, which is more like being prepared to play the bad guy, being prepared to look like the bad person, but you're being honest and you're being authentic and you're doing the right thing. So not just saying you're going to do the right thing, but actually doing the right thing, perhaps. And in Libra's reading, they had a touch of it as well. They had You're Perfect by Alanis Morissette. They'll love you just the way you are if you're perfect, which again, there's an irony to that. And they also had this thing about like be the person they need. So maybe your person needs you to be honest. Maybe your person doesn't want false promises. Again, flip it and reverse it. You could be the person saying, look, I don't want false promises. I don't want you to make promises to me that you can't keep. What I want for you is to be open about your needs, and to tell me what you can do and what you can't do, right? So there's this thing about being honest with ourselves and being honest with other people about what we can deliver, and not trying to be the hero that we want to be, but actually being the real person who we are. And then also with that, it's like not guilt tripping ourselves or not holding ourselves overly accountable when we're not perfect. It's like self-acceptance and the unconditional love for the self. It's like, look, I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm not the hero that Gotham needs, but do you know what? I can make a difference in my own way. I can be the best person that I can be. And sometimes I'm going to fail, and sometimes I'm going to fall down, and sometimes you're not going to like that. But I promise I will try my best, right? And that's all we can ask of each other. Promise me you'll try your best. Promise me you'll, I don't know, like, for example, if somebody, drawing on personal experience, if somebody is going to go out with their friends, right? You're going to go out with your friends. Don't tell me you'll be back at 10 o'clock, because I know you won't. You'll have a few drinks, you'll lose track of time. You're not going to be back at 10 o'clock. There's no way. So don't tell me you will be, you know, but what I do demand from you is that you send me text messages regularly so I know you're okay. You know, just a quick, hey, I'm doing this now, I'm all right. You know, maybe that's all I need to be reassured, so that I'm not looking at my phone at 10 o'clock and saying, well, where are they? They said they'd be back by now. Maybe you've got like teenage children or something. They said they'd be back by now and they're not back, and they're not answering the phone, and I'm getting really scared and I'm getting really worried. Do I need to call the police? Do I need to check the local hospitals? It's like, think of the other person and be kind. So having reasonable expectations where it's like that person, maybe at 10:15 they say, hey, sorry, I'm not back yet, I'm safe, I'm going to stay out a bit longer, I'll keep in touch, you know, so the person's not worrying. So it's like that kind of thing. So it's this thing about being honest about what you can and can't do, and expressing what you need from a situation. I need you to check your phone regularly, because if I'm ringing you and you're in a noisy club and you're not answering your phone, I start to panic. So remember to check your phone and send me a text back. You know, I'm going to text your mate as well, to remind you, that kind of stuff. I don't know, like not being overly controlling as well, though, because you are a controlling energy normally, Scorpio. That balance between giving somebody freedom and the license to be who they are and who they need to be, but also in a way where you're saying, but I also have needs in this situation, and it has to be two-way. You have to respect me. So I don't run away and not answer your phone because you're scared I'm going to tell you off. I wouldn't have to tell you off if you sent me a text. Do you know, that kind of thing? So is this your reading? Is it not your reading? Let's pull some cards and find out. Or some Scrabble tiles. So I've got my bag of Scrabble tiles. So I'm going to pull some letters. It may make you think of a certain word, a certain person. It may spell something out and you think, oh, that makes sense. It's just a little signifier to say if this is your reading or it's not your reading. And if it doesn't make sense now, maybe see a couple of cards and see how you feel then. Again, use your own intuition to know if this is your situation and reading or not. Okay, so we have I, or one, right? Roman numeral. E. P. A. Ape. Ape. Pierre. I don't know. Whatever you get from it, right? EPA. EPA beer. Okay, whatever you get from that. Okay? Is it your reading? Is it not your reading? It's not for me to decide. It's for you to use your own intuition. I'm just the messenger. I just say whatever I'm getting, right? I don't know who I'm reading for. I don't know people's personal situation. The messages are coming through me. They're not from me. Here we go. We've got both. They're a bit of both coming through me and the from me, apparently. Okay, I'm stand corrected, guides. Thank you for that. So I can't see what I'm getting here, by the way. What's this? Then. Both then. Right, fine, both then. Is that what I said? Making fun of me. And what else, please? Piper. I just got Piper from the letters. Neck. Okay. They're trying to give me something. I'm not quite getting it. Piper, neck. Neck pipe, windpipe? Something about a windpipe, perhaps? Like wind, like they're showing me a flute, and I was trying to figure out how neck fits in, and I was thinking, does a flute have a neck? Like, I don't know the pieces of a flute, what you call them, but maybe a flute has a neck. I'll Google it afterwards. But like I think they're getting like reed as well. Like they're showing me like wind instruments, so maybe somebody plays a wind instrument, or it's like windpipe. Okay, let's go. So reading for Scorpio energy for Tuesday, then so Scorpio and somebody or people that Scorpio are dealing with. So it's like you and them, right? Oh, hello. Definitely, it's, I swear it's you being secretive. Just know you can flip it and reverse it if needs be, if it fits better the other way around. Journey. So I want to say this is talking about your need, right? Your need perhaps to go on a journey, your need to go on a vacation, your need to have an inner personal journey, that you'll need to go in a different direction, your need for freedom, your need for I'm hearing like romance in the old version of the word. So the original meaning of romance wasn't necessarily love, although it can be, but it's like more like adventure. I want adventure in the great wide somewhere. Perhaps you're feeling very bottleneck. Sorry, you keep throwing things in there. Perhaps you're feeling very bottlenecked at the moment. Perhaps you're in an environment that feels very squeezed. So maybe there's a lot of people around you, or you feel a bit cooped up in some sort of way. It's uncomfortable. You want freedom. You want to be out. You want to be like running through the fields or something like this. Like you want to be out. I don't know. I'm just getting out. You want to be out. You want to be out. Maybe out of a situation, out of a contract. I want out. But holding it, like, yeah, definitely throat. You're getting a lot of throat chakra stuff with neck, and I can feel it now on my throat. It's like, be careful, just as a side message, be careful if you've got allergies or people around you have allergies. You know, make sure you have your, what's the thing that you use if you have an allergy? You have like an injection to, oh God, that's uncomfortable. Oh, I don't like that energy. Moving swiftly on. Just be careful if you've got anything to do with your throat, asthma and things like this as well. Throat closing up. Make sure you're doing, for others of you, make sure you're doing your chakra work. You know, opening your chakras. If you have a problem with your throat chakra, make sure you're doing things to alleviate that. So if you have something, a secret, something that you need to say, that you need to get off your chest, but perhaps you can't say it, you know, speak it to your ancestors, speak it to your guardians, you know, your angels, you know, speak it to God, whatever you believe in. Write it down in a letter and burn it carefully and safely. Speak it into the winds, tell it to a pet. All these things to kind of get the words out. It will help to unblock that chakra. So them for Scorpio for Tuesday. Scorpio for Tuesday. Daughter romance. Yeah, so again, funny I picked up on the word romance. So for some of you, it is literally romance. Like I need to travel to be with somebody. I need to have the freedom to get into this relationship. I need I don't know, but it could be the person opening up about their need for romance and things as well. Strength, taking strength and courage to say this. So with the door opening up, it's similar to this oyster energy, right? It's opening up. So again, I kind of, the strongest way that I was reading it was like, you're the one, Scorpio, who's aware that somebody has something that they need to say. It could be you do have a child who wants to come out, right? With that coming out energy, or got to get this out energy. It's like, you know that somebody's, it's like you just sense it. You just sense that, you know, somebody's acting a bit differently. They're being a bit quieter than usual. They're being a bit shifty. It's like, it's the energy of this other person kind of you know, like dancing around the elephant in the room. Like they know that they have to say something, they just don't know how to say it, and they perhaps don't know how you're going to react. They might be a little bit intimidated. You are an intimidating energy, Scorpio. You know, King of Cups, you know, you're the most, however, again, I should say gender's very fluid in my tarot readings. Sometimes it's a specific man or a specific woman, and I'll say if it is, but normally if it's like a king or a queen or an emperor, just know that it's more about the energy of the card and the way that person's acting than the gender on the card. So just be aware of that. You can always flip things around if needs be. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Lost track of that. But this is it. This is the opening up. I have a need for romance. I have feelings for you. I need to go off on an adventure. 33 could be a significant number. Watch out for repeating number threes. You have 11113 on your numbers up here. I looked at the two and I got, it takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Me and you, it just takes two. I do feel like that's their energy. I may put it back and just see if it comes back out again. So, Scorpio's energy for Tuesday, journey. And there's the elephant in the room. You're the elephant in the room. Yeah, sneaky raccoon behavior here on the bottom. So, the elephant's very battle worn, but what it's telling me today, I get different things on the from the card depending on the other cards around it and the energy intuitively that I'm getting. So immediately I'm going to the story of Hannibal, who did the impossible, right? He was from Carthage, and he I think from Carthage or Carthagena, like he's from that region, like North Africa, and he was an army general, right? He led an attack on Rome, and people in Rome heard these reports that he was bringing animals, elephants into Rome, and they were like, it's impossible. How could he possibly do that? But he took an unexpected route. He kind of went up and led these elephants through the mountains, and he did it. He led these elephants into Rome. So there's something about the journey you need to take and it feeling like it's an impossible journey. It's feeling like it's something that can't be done, but it's like you can do it. Could be taking a flight somewhere. It's like taking an unusual route, or something being complicated and difficult. It's, for me, the elephant is always kind of like 9 of Wands energy. And if you know this, it's the Wounded Warrior card. It's somebody who's feeling really battle worn, a bit beaten up, a bit beaten down. You know, it's been a long and difficult road, a long difficult journey, but they're keeping on going, keep picking themselves up, keep dusting themselves off, and it becomes the emperor or the empress. Like, you don't get to be a true emperor or an empress, in my opinion, if you haven't gone through 9 of Wands energy, if you haven't had those difficult, like, long battles. And it can come into your life in many different forms. Like, for me, it's been like, you know, like silly legal things that just got dragged out, and you know, especially if you've not done anything wrong and you've got to deal with a load of paperwork or admin or, you know, emails, and like it just drags on and on and on. And it's like, I did nothing to deserve this situation, and yet here I am. Like, sometimes I just want to give up. But it's like, you know, it can come in so many different ways, like relationships that are just hard relationships, and a lot of different things. But it's like not giving up on this. And it is connected to this journey. So if it's not a physical journey, it's an inward journey. It's like something that you're discovering about yourself, where, you know, you're going through things perhaps emotionally, or like going on soul journeys where you've been dealing with things that have been trialing, but it's helping you to grow. It's helping you to become stronger, because you build up that resilience. You know, you think, and a lot of the time you look back and you think, oh wow, if that situation happened again, I'd know exactly what to do. Where, you know, perhaps when I went into that situation the first time around, I was really vulnerable and I didn't know what to do, and it was so stressful. Where now it's like, for me, again, like dealing with this like silly dispute that I had to deal with, like I didn't know what to do at first, and I've actually had a few similar things. And then like the last time that it happened, I was like, hell no, like hell no, I'm not just rolling over and taking this. I'm going to fight this. And it was really hard. I won't go into the details, but the phone call to say that it's done, it's over, you know, everything's ruled in your favor, they have to pay your compensation and all this kind of stuff, came when I was literally giving birth. I was literally like in the last stage of labor. And that's when we got the phone call saying, yeah, it's all sorted, it's all clear. So yeah, definitely that kind of pushing through energy coming through on these cards today. And then the Hawk as well. The Hawk's a really lovely card because, like the Eagle, it talks about having a higher view, about being able to remove yourself from a difficult situation. And you're not getting overwhelmed by it. You're retaining that ability to kind of like spiritually go up a level and see the situation from above, see the bigger picture. Again, with that radar thing coming through that I was picking up on, it's like scanning the environment, like getting the overview, putting the feelers out, just seeing something from a higher level. So you seem tough as old boots there, Scorpio. I'm going to be honest with you. So what about this person? This person opening up, I guess. This other person in Scorpio's reading for Tuesday. They cannot see the finish line. This person's feeling a little bit down, a little bit. Where the elephants, for me, like the Nine of Wands, is a card about not giving up. Persevering even though it's draining and difficult, and like having that resilience to keep going. Where the Nine of Wands in reverse is like giving up, like I can't do it, it's too hard, I give up. Now the Nightingale, for me, they sing when you're going through those dark periods, whatever that form takes for you. The Nightingale says the light is at the end of the tunnel. The new day is about to come through. It's going to be okay. This person feels like they're giving up hope. With it being in reverse, it's like they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. They don't see this situation ever getting better. So they may be feeling a little bit of despair. Like I don't hear that Nightingale sing. So how long is this going to keep going for? You're steady. You're like, do you know what? One step in front of the other. Tomorrow is another day. Every tomorrow, every tomorrow turns into a week. Every week turns into a month. Every month turns into a year. We keep going until we get out of it. And we look back and we can see the years and the weeks and the months and the days stretching out behind us. And like, look how far we've come. Look how far we've come. But this person just sees the steps that still need to be taken. So they're losing. It's not like they're losing hope. They just don't see the hope. They don't see when this situation can change. I mean, this heart is kind of like locked in a bird cage, right? I mean, the door's kind of open, but still you've got this cage imagery. But the key's right there. So they could just need you to point out to them, that they can... They do have some authority. There are things that they can do. So I feel like this person could be focused on the things that they can't do. Whether this is like travel restrictions, I can't go to that place that I really want to go to. Okay, so where can you go? Or, is there anything you can do to prepare? Do you need to apply for your passport? Do you need to get your passport photo taken? Do you need to get, like what steps can you take? So it's like this person just feels like they need from you a little bit of direction, a little bit of encouragement. Butterfly, so some kind of metamorphosis or change that are happening. Okay, so I want to find it out. I want to ask more about them. So Daughter, Romance, and Nightingale in reverse. Just to say, Libra was going through something. Libra was in the like dark night of the soul energy. I had to do their reading twice. The first time, because I connect energetically when I'm doing the readings, Libra's energy completely took me out. It was I couldn't stop crying. I was completely like depressed because like after doing their reading it was so difficult, and so it was really caving into that shadow self, like the fear and all of this kind of stuff, and I was like, this isn't me, this isn't my energy. Obviously we all experience these things sometimes, but I was like, I'm aware that this is like imprinting, or somebody else's energy, or the collective energy, especially with what's going on in the news and in the world at the moment. And I was like, this is not my energy. I was like, I need to do yoga, I need to meditate, I need to do my things that get me out of this energy, you know, the things that are good for me and my soul. But it was so hard to do because I was sat in the energy of basically what was depression, sat in that energy of hopelessness, sat in that energy of nothing matters, right? And when you're in that, it's so hard to find the motivation to do even the slightest thing. So finally, I kind of dragged myself out of bed, and I did the yoga and I did the meditation, and it was like a weight was lifted from my shoulders. I just felt so much better because I was like shaking off that darkness, right? Shaking off that devil energy that affects us all from time to time, that, you know, the dark cloud energy. And at the end of the reading, and they had this going through the darkness, going straight into the void, right? Heading straight for it purposefully, because they knew that if they just kept walking one foot in front of the other, they would come out on the other side. And then they could lead the way, they could call back, because they're showing me like a tunnel. It's like Libra could call back. Libra could say, they're showing me specifically a tunnel that me and my friend used to walk through. It was an abandoned train tunnel. It was a really long tunnel and it had a turn in it. So when you walk into it, you know, you can't actually see the light ahead because there's this bend in it. So you could look back and see the light growing smaller and smaller at one end of the tunnel. And at one point you're kind of almost in complete darkness. And it's like you take a few steps forward and then you're round the bend and then you see the light right at the other end of the tunnel. But there's a moment there where you're in complete pitch black darkness, and it's like you start to get scared because you're in the unknown, right? So it's like in that moment of being in the unknown, in the darkness, and this is talking about metaphorically for, you know, dark periods of our life, periods where we don't know where our life is going. You know, we've seen the happiness of the past, you know, drift away from us, and we're in a period where we feel like a sense of loss of control, or a sense of despair, a sense of, is it ever going to get better? And we all have those moments. The fact that you're here now watching this video, you've probably had those moments and you've come out of them if you look back, you know. So it's like the way Libra's reading was coming through, it was like Libra was going first, or Libra was in the process of going through the middle of the tunnel where you can't see the light behind you and you can't see the light ahead. But they kept on going. When I did a second reading, it was like it ended up with the Nightingale. So it's like Libra does come out of the other side of this, and they look back and they shout down the tunnel, keep walking, follow the sound of my voice. I'm in the light now. It's gonna get better. Follow me. Come, you know, keep coming. So it's like Libra turned into like the spokesperson, or like the voice saying, it does get better. But it's like, maybe this is Libra a few steps ahead of you in that tunnel, right? You're following the light, or you've just gone a few steps ahead, right? You went first. So, or like you're the guidance system, right? You're the person, you know, have you ever played those party games where you're like blindfolded and you have to get the person to avoid obstacles? It's like, or like a computer game, right? It's like 2 steps forward, turn to the right. It's funny, I did this with my son yesterday. He was kind of pretending to be a computer game character and walking into the wall. So I had to say, stop, turn to the right. Like, so it's like that kind of energy. Like you're the navigator, Flight of the Navigator. That's a film, right? Flight of the Navigator. That could have some significance for you. But yeah, it's like you need to get, whoever this is, you need to get them through that darkness and into the other side. You know, once they see the light, once they see, it's almost like now the door opening is the light coming through. It's like that's the pinprick of light at the end of the tunnel. It's like when they see that, they're going to be all right. They're going to be on their own. You know, they're going to know where to go. They're going to know where to head. But it's just that middle bit that they need help with. Okay, so Scorpio. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. I didn't. Okay, let me move these up so you can see them. Call this air energy. Yeah, it could definitely be an air sign that you're dealing with the Nightingale. And it's like here they are. Do you see the similarity of these two cards? So it's like this is the moment where they call back. This is the moment where they sing the song. You know, everything's going to be okay. I see the light. That's that calling back energy. It's like a message of hope, a message of hope, message of hope. The Nine of Water is a card of wish fulfillment, of prayers being answered, of hope, of wishes coming true. But it's also a card about not being emotionally reliant on other people. It's emotionally independent. So the Two of Air is some kind of blockage. That feels like middle of the tunnel energy. Like, do I go back or do I go forward? I'm kind of in this limbo space where, you see with these two birds, they're giving me trapped in the middle, and then they were like, stuck in the middle with you, and I don't know what it is I should do. But then going forward into, I want to say that they do go forward and then calling back to the others. Calling back to the others like, you know, it's safe, it's okay, come and join me. But then the Seven of Air is like a card about deception. There's something about time passing I want to say. Do you see the difference in these two birds? Like the small birds, it's like they become these two bigger birds. A lot of birds, a lot of birds and feathers and white, right? White and blue. Right, so tell me about Scorpio. Strength, it's gone over there. Look, you've got this strength energy twice. I'm going to just pull this over here. The strength to be patient, the strength to allow this person to go through their process. I can't remember which reading it was in, and it could have been in the Libra one that I didn't put up, but there was this energy of someone, I think it was the Libra reading I did put up. Sorry, it's not even up yet. I'm recording this sort of on Saturday, but there was this character in one of the readings, I want to say it was the Libra reading I did put up, where it was like a spirit guide or an angel or a you know, an ancestor who'd passed over, or just, you know, like a parent, even, like it doesn't even have to be someone in spirit, like a parent, somebody who is saying, I have to let them do this on their own. I have to let them figure this out on their own. It's kind of like, I've definitely had this experience kind of working in schools. I was I'm a trained teaching assistant, experienced teaching assistant. I was going to do teacher training, so I was gaining a lot of experience working in schools, and I definitely had these moments. It's called scaffolding. It's a proper teaching technique where basically a lot of students, they learn through trying to figuring things out for themselves. It's like, I think it's Piaget as well. It's like the process of actively trying to solve a problem engages the problem solving part of the brain, which can then be applied to other things. It's like strategic problem solving, but you don't do that if somebody just gives you the answers all the time. So it's like they're showing me escape rooms as well. I've done a lot of escape rooms with like colleagues and friends and family, and it's that energy of like knowing the answer but not just wanting to because the people in the control room in the escape room, they have the answers, right? And my son's done it where he's gone into the control room, and I've kind of gone in with him, and you know, I've seen that side of it. I've seen the other side of it where it's like right, we're going to give them a hint, but we don't want to give them, you know, this is the answer, but we don't want to just tell them the answer. We want to give them a clue. We want to give them a hint. So it's like, and it's fun. Again, with you being Scorpio, again, with Virgo and Scorpio being like the problem solvers, like I've got a puzzle here. I want to figure this out. It's fun for certain energies. So it's like, I'm getting that kind of energy again, really strongly now in your reading. I wonder if you're the watcher, where it's like, naturally, like I have the answer. Naturally, I know how to solve this problem. Again, here with like the Archangel Michael rays, and patience, because to me, Michael is a very patient angel, guardian angel energy. It's better for this person if we, even though it's uncomfortable for them, even though they have those moments of doubt and fear, we don't want to step in too soon. We don't want to just step in and give them a cuddle and solve the problem for them, because then they're not building up resilience, then they're not building up those problem solving skills. So it's finding the balance with that scaffolding energy, because you can be too hands off, right? You don't want to have somebody be distressed, but it's like a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit of like, it's the level, isn't it? A small amount of uncomfortableness and panic is good. I'm looking up into the sky, by the way, and there's a cloud, and a little bit of it sticking out really looks like a ram or a goat. So I don't know if there's like Aries or Capricorn placements or people around you. So it very strongly looks like a goat, you know, with like the horns going backwards. So probably like a ram, I'd say, rather than, I don't know, whichever way it works for you, right? So yeah, a lot of strength to not just rush in and make it better. My mum was a Scorpio, and she was one of the, because there's different types of Scorpio, right? My mum was the rush in and fix it, rush in and make it better energy. But she also knew how to stand back. She also knew how to let me make my own mistakes and go my own way. But she had that energy, going back to the start of the reading, of just tell me where you're going, tell me who you're going with, tell me what time you'll be back, you know, keep me informed. And she gave me a lot of freedom and space to make my own mistakes, which I didn't make a lot of mistakes considering how many mistakes I could have made. Going with this blue energy. So, Scorpio. Could have strong Leo in your chart with these two angels of strength. Does definitely feel like, with a lot of this underlying, it definitely does feel like this guardian energy, right? Like the companion, the guardian angel, the protective friend, however you want to see that, the angel of strength. Maybe be very, very encouraging, maybe saying, you've got this, you know, I've got faith in you, be confident, you're going to nail this, you know, being the backbone for this person as they go through something quite scary, perhaps quite dark. Teaching somebody perhaps how to have the upper hand, how to have the higher perspective, how to raise yourself above the people who want to knock you down. You know, again, through meditation, yoga, things like this. Seven of Wands is taking the high ground or defending your position. Feels very much like standing firm, being the rock. Is this my mum? Is this my mum? My mum died at Christmas, and her animal is elephants. She had hundreds of elephants, like decorative elephants. Hi, Mum. Hi, Mum. Thanks for walking me through the darkness. Okay. Worried about this Seven of Air. Tell me more about the Seven of Air. Eight of Swords. All so much air energy on this side. Virgo here as well. Somebody could be Virgo, Libra cusp. So much air. This is all thoughts, all strategy. Somebody getting stuck in their own head. Maybe this could be imposter syndrome. Like, I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I don't believe in myself, because the Seven of Air can be like self-deception as well, like deceiving the self. I don't know. I can't see which way to go here. I feel trapped. I don't know which way to turn. But the thing is, you're not trapped. There's a perception of being trapped. There's a perception of being all tied up in something, but it's not real. She's not really tied up. So to me, the crows in this card are spirit trying to free this person. So again, I'm saying this is like something connected to kind of the spirit guide, where it's like spirits or your guardian, or this person's guardian. It could be you, right? And it could be you being very hands-off. I think I was getting Snape as well in Libra's reading. You know how Snape, there's only so much he can do because he doesn't want to blow his cover, right? So he's kind of like very much working in the background with this kind of like watcher, you know, guardian energy. That's kind of what that's giving me, as kind of like trying to make this person understand that they're not stuck, that they can have emotional independence, that they can get through this darkness. And then I feel like they're going to be some sort of spokesperson where, you know, they call backwards to others who are going through it. You know, you can get through this. It is okay. You can defeat your own demons. What an interesting reading. Okay, so I want to get you an advice card. Just trying to decide. I'm going to get you two. I'm getting drawn two. They're showing me a card from this deck, so it'd be interesting to see if it comes out. Yeah. So you're getting animals. I don't know if you've got like I said, my mum's and the elephant for me. I don't know if you've got specific animals that kind of mean something to you. You know, perhaps you associate your spirit guides or your ancestors or your guardian angels or whatever it is for you. For even friends, right? Even people who are living, you know, perhaps you associate certain energies with certain people. Interesting, the falcon and the hawk there. I like to see the underlying. Sometimes the underlying is a message as well. Again, here, believe in yourself. That seems to be the message with this lion energy, like believe in yourself. And what's this? Observation. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like a teacher, you know, a teacher watching, or like, you know, somebody watching somebody, like they're showing me like military as well, you know, like a scout leader or something, like the person who's saying, right, we're going to stand back, we're going to see what they do with this, we're going to throw them this curveball, we're going to see what they do with it. You know, if they get into too much trouble, now they're showing me like a boat on a lake, like, you know, if they get into too much trouble, like if the kid starts drowning, we'll go in and fish them out. But, you know, if they bob around a bit in there, you know, we're just going to kind of like wait, and so they learn how to get out of those situations by themselves. Obviously, that's a bit tricky. Do follow health and safety. Make sure you're close enough to help if the person needs help. Yeah, maybe look up scaffolding as a teaching technique. You know, some people can get stuck in a certain part. Like some people help too much. Some people are like, here's the answer. Like, so, for example, here with this key on the cage, like some people are like, there's a key on the side of the cage, use that and unlock it. You know, it's like, here's exactly what you need to do. I'm going to point out where the key is. Where scaffolding is more like asking questions to prompt. So it's like, is there anything in your environment that could help you? You know, and then if they can't find it, it's like, is there anything on the cage that could help you? You know, it's like, or what do you need? What do you need? Oh, I need a key. Is there anything in your environment that can help you? It's more like that. It's like, or even if you want to pull it back even further, you know, instead of being like, you know, this is where you should look, I'd say that's kind of the middle road. Pull it back further and be like, okay, what do you need? What's the goal here? I need to unlock that heart. Okay, so what should you do next? Is there anything you could try? Oh, I could try looking around. Yeah, try looking around. You know, it's like active thinking. You're prompting that. But it's like, if they're really struggling, then you give them a bit more. You say, oh, is there anything in your environment that can help you? Do you see what I mean? It's like, you can pull it right back, you can push it back forward. But some people get stuck in, some people stand there and go, I don't know, you got to figure this one out for yourself, think for yourself. And even if the kid or like whoever is distressed, it's like, got to figure this one out for yourself. That's not always helpful. Sometimes you need the prompt. So it's getting it right and understanding that, because you can put scaffolding up right and pull it back down. So it's like this technique of how much does this person need, and always giving them maybe a step back from what you think they actually do need. And if they can't figure it out, then you step forward. Always step back one, right? Okay. Oh, advice please for anyone who is resonating with this reading. Groundhog Spirit, time to let go. And yeah, definitely has something with the tunnel analogy. It's definitely something to do with like the past, like walking away from the happy days, the brightness of the past, being in that darkness. But it's like a reluctance. It's like a fear of getting too far away from something from the past and letting that light get out of view. But it's like, you're not going to see the light in the future until you turn that corner. So there's something about being stuck in this, it's almost like stuck in this loop of the tunnel. And then what else, please, for anyone watching this reading? The deer power definitely gives me Patronus energy, right? Okay. Wolf authenticity on the bottom there. What's on the bottom of this deck? Be playful. Okay, so And sometimes as well, if somebody's sat in fear, if they're in that moment of, they're showing me now, like when I went rock climbing with school and abseiling, there was a kid who was at the top of the cliff, and I mean, it wasn't very high, but you know, they had a moment of panic, you know, trying to go over the edge, they couldn't do it. And so it's like sometimes, you know, you need to joke around, you know, to break that tension. Like sometimes focusing on the fear can be the wrong thing. Sometimes joking around can be the wrong thing. But it's like sometimes, you know, calling back, like playing with the echo in the tunnel might be enough to distract somebody or break the tension or something like that. Interestingly enough, I can't show it now because I flipped past it, but when I opened this deck, I opened it to the Deer card. So you've got Deer twice. Endings lead to beginnings, and death is a part of life. So Groundhog Spirit is here to let you know that it is time to accept the natural ending of something that is no longer serving you. We love to hold on to what is familiar, but the new needs space to arrive so growth can occur. When Groundhog Spirit appears, it is a sign that there is something in your present situation that you need to let go of, so that something new can be born, something that will far better serve you now. When the groundhog sees his shadow, he retreats to his den. Again, this thing about fear and shadows. So you might too yearn for a little more time to say goodbye and transition into the new. However, change is coming, and it is good. They're giving me the runaway train, da, 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 da. Calamity Jane. It's like there's no stopping the train. Spring brings many blessings, and what must die will always be reborn in a new form that will be right for you. Life requires change and detachment. Say farewell to whatever once served you and get ready for something amazing to take its place. Spirit is already sending it your way. If you've lost a person like me and my mum, right, these kind of things really, really help. Me personally anyway, you know. 11 Deer. So yeah, maybe you're going to have some sort of Patronus, you know. I'm reading from the wrong book. I saw butterfly again though. Number 11 in this book is butterfly. So you've got 2 butterflies, 2 deers. Maybe watch out for these animals. They could be signs from somebody who's passed over possibly. Again, if you want to see it that way, if you don't want to see it that way, that's fine as well. So yeah, what did that card say? What was that card that was there? I said it was like something encouraging, and then the first thing here on this Dear card is you are enough, you are worthy. Ethics are a part of building genuine personal power. Stand strong in front of bullies and hold your boundaries tenaciously. Be proud of what you have achieved, but humble in your outlook. And I know, good reading. I did not expect it to be that long. I thought it was going to be short reading, and yeah, here we are at the hour mark. So Scorpio, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope you found it helpful. Again, just a quick reminder to leave me a like, drop a comment, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. All these things really, really help out the channel, and they're all completely free. Yay! So thank you to those of you who do these things regularly. Really, really helpful. You only have to hit subscribe and the notification bell once. So if you've already done it, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all the engagement over the past couple of weeks. Really, really helps to encourage me to turn up and do these readings, and I really enjoy doing them, so yay. Yeah, and take care of yourselves. Share if you think anyone needs to hear this. That's also really helpful. And yeah, have a good week, Scorpios. Like, I like it. I like Scorpio. Your energy does come through with this kind of like black dragon energy sometimes of the guardian, the protector. It's an energy that makes me feel really, really safe. So like to those of you who embody that energy, you know, it's a great energy to have. And yeah, very, very cool. Take care of yourself, Scorpio, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.